this is the challenge that we need to face, and we need to what should I say? We need to be strong in whatever we are, we are facing in our daily life, right? Okay, yeah, Anong, good morning to you. Right, so let's continue with our exercises, some of the examples in our book for you to be more familiar, to be to be more familiar with all the theories that we have learned for the normal distribution in chapter 4. Again, I would like to emphasize for chapter 4, the purpose of doing of this chapter is actually to find the probability, and then we need to know the steps of finding the probability. We need to start from x and convert it to z, and then we need to draw the curve, the location, and then look at the table, and only then we can find the probability. Okay, so let's do example number 4. Okay, let me share my slides. Okay. Right. So, example number 4. The length of a particular type of earthworm is normally distributed with a mean of 6 centimeter and a standard deviation of 2.6 centimeter. Find the probability. Okay, so we need to find the probability that a randomly selected earthworm has the length less than 6.5 centimeter. Okay, I told you before, right, in our previous lecture, that when you read your question for the statistic class, the most important is to detect the information given in the question. So what you need to do, circle the number or the information, or you need to highlight the information. So in this case, we have 6, right? Number 6, and also 2.6 centimeter. So you know that one is the mean and the other one is the standard deviation. So in order to find the probability to solve the problem in chapter 4, we need to have the information of the mean and also standard deviation in order to write the distribution, right? So in order to answer this question, what we need to do, before we can answer the question, we need to write the distribution first. Okay, this is what you need to be familiar with, right? So we have, okay, let me put this way. So x is distributed with n, mu, and also standard deviation squared. Where x, the story here is actually the event is the length of of earthworm, right? Right? Cacing tanah, right? So this is the information that you need to get from the question. So we know that x, okay, we go back to the question just now, we circle number 6 and 2.6. So we just plug in the number here. For the mean is 6, and then the standard deviation is 2.6 squared, right? So this is how you start to answer a question in this statistics class, right? So once you get this distribution, it will be easy for you to answer the question. Now we are looking for, okay, the question asks us to find the probability that the length of the earthworm is actually less than 6.5, right? So we are looking for the probability x, where x is the length of the earthworm less than 6.5, right? So this is what we need to get, right? So in order to get this probability, we need to follow the steps. X, convert it to Z, and then draw the curve, and then draw the location, and then look at the table, and then get the probability. So we need to convert this one, X to Z first, right? So by using the formula X minus mu to find the Z, It's actually 6.5 minus the mean is 6 divided by 2.6, right? So we need to find what is actually our Z, right? Can somebody calculate it for me, please? What is the value of Z? Anyone? Okay, 0.19. Thank you, Atika. Right? So this is the first step that we have done, right? So the next one is to draw the location in the curve, right? So we need to draw it, right? So and then this one is 0.19, positive side, less than it means all this, right? So what you need to do in order to find this area, right? Whatever given in the table, remember the table will give us whatever on the tail side, right? So we just need to find 1 minus whatever in the tail, right? Given in the table, and then we will get the probability, right? So 1 minus, can somebody get me what is actually the probability for 0.19 from the table? 0. What? Okay. All right. Anu. Okay, 0. Can you read the number, Anu, again? 4?
4247.
4247. Okay, good. All right. So, and then what is the final answer? Okay, so this one probably. What is the final answer? 0.5? 0.5753. Is that correct? Okay. All right. I give you 2 minutes for you to understand what what we are doing, right? And then to understand the steps that I have written on the screen, right? 2 minutes. Okay. For your information, this one on page 15 in your book. Okay. So let's move on to example number 5, right? So in power detergents manufacturing process, filling and packaging are done by automatic filling machines. The content of the power detergent filled in the box has normal distribution with a mean of 840 gram, okay, circle that number, and a standard deviation of 12 gram, okay. Find the probability that has a random selected detergent box contains more than 850, right? So we hold part B, okay? Let's focus on part A first, okay? So now what we need to do, okay, once you read the question, you need to circle all the information given in the question, and you need to start with writing the distribution, right? So in this case, it's actually what we are looking for is the probability of the content of the power detergent. Okay, you know what, the power detergent usually they put it like 1 kg, right? So but machine is doing the job. Sometimes the machine may fill the content more, sometimes less, okay, but it cannot be less at less than certain amount, right? Because otherwise, the company or the customer will complain, or the company will bankrupt lah sebab giving too much to the customers, alright? So now we need to find out first the probability that a randomly selected detergent contains more than 850. So what we need to do, okay, first we need to define the story that we are looking for. Actually, X is the content of the detergent, right? In gram, right? So next, we need to write the distribution. So X is distributed with normal distribution, mean, and also standard deviation squared. So we have X and, so the mean here is 840 gram, okay? So you don't need to put gram because we already defined in X just now. And then the standard deviation is 12 squared. Okay, so this is the first step that you need to do, where you need to you need to write the distribution first before solving the problems. Okay, so the next one, now we can answer part A. So part A, when you see the word probability, just write P. Okay, P stands for probability, and then in bracket, what is the story? The story that we want to look for, the probability is X. The content of the detergent in gram is more than 850. Okay, so this is what we are looking for. So before we can find the probability, we need to convert X to Z, right? So please, guys, make sure you do all the calculation for Z in the margin provided on that page, okay? So on the right. Okay, so Z, okay, what I can say, now I would like to convert X to Z. Z is equal to X minus the mean divided by the sigma. So X here is actually 850, okay, minus the mean is 840 divided by 12, right? So now we get the value of Z. Can somebody calculate it for me, please? Okay, 0.83. Okay, thank you. 0.83, right? So once we get the Z, we need to plug in back in the equation, all right? So we get, all right? So P now in terms of Z is more than, okay, more than, right? 0.83, right? So this is what we are looking for. So once it's already in Z, now we can draw the curve, right? So the curve will look like this one, right? So we have on the positive side 0.83, and then more than, alamak, so kacang, this one so easy. So we don't have to deduct minus or whatever. So whatever we get from the table will be the answer. Okay, can somebody get me the answer, please? 0. Okay, thank you. 0.2033. Yeah, it's logic because the answer should be less than 0.5. It doesn't even reach half of the graph. Okay, so this is the answer. Okay, so is everybody okay? Okay ke tidak? Right. Okay, so we already done part A. Now let's look at part B. Okay. A machine is said to be inefficient if 25%, okay, 25% of the boxes manufactured is filled by less than 225 gram or more than 800 855 gram. Okay, so and then after we already found the probability, we need to convert it into percentage. Okay, and then we need to look at what percentage of the detergent boxes contain of inaccurately weight of soda. Okay, soda is actually sabun lah, soap. ataupun detergent. American they call it soda. Soda also for apa macam air air Pepsi, Coke also they call it soda. Okay, what can you conclude on the efficiency of the machine? Okay, so when we want to make a conclusion, if the percentage that we found from the probability is more than 25%, then we can say that the machine is inefficient. It should be thrown away in the sea, right? So let's try to solve the question. Okay, so now, okay, so this is part B. Now we are doing part B. So we want to check, okay, the probability of the content if it is less than, okay, less than 8 to 5, okay, or okay, or more than 855, okay. If the sum, if the total of this probability greater than 0.25, then we can conclude the machine is inefficient, right? So before that, we need to convert x to z first, right? So we need to calculate two values of z, right? The first one, zx minus mu divided by sigma, where is 8 to 5 minus 840, right? Divide by, okay, see, I totally forgot. Okay, 12, right? So divide by 12 and then get the first value of z. And then the second one, zx minus mu divided by sigma. Okay, I think the, oops. Okay, this one 855 divide minus 840 divide by 12, right? So can somebody get me the answer for Z1? Anyone? Okay, negative 125. Okay, negative 125. How about Z2? 1.25 positive, right? So this is very good, okay, good answer, because I can already predict how the graph, the location in the graph looks like, okay. So then we, first one is PZ, okay, we have less than 1, negative 1.25, and then PZ more than 1.25, right? So let's draw the curve. So this one will be negative 1.25, okay, less than and greater than, okay, just to make sure, right? So less than will be this part right here, and then plus P, oops, why did I write this one? I should draw the curve, okay, 1.25 more than. Okay, so what you can see, this is exactly like what we did in example one. Okay, example number one, part H or I, something like that, right? So where we have similar area in the positive and negative side. So what we can do is just to get whatever in the positive side or one of them, and then just times two, right? So we get whatever, okay, because it's very easy. We get direct from the table, and then just times two. So we get the PZ less than 1, negative 1.25 plus, okay, PZ greater than 1.25. Can somebody get me the answer? So what is actually for the probability for 1.25? Okay, thank you. 0.1056. And then when we times 2, we get 0.2112. Is that correct? Is it correct, people? Yeah, okay. So this is the answer. Remember, we need to answer in terms of percentage. So we need to convert this one, okay? The 0.22 is actually 21, okay? When we convert this one, is 21.12%. Okay, is it more than 25%? Yes or no? Okay, is it yes or no? No, right? So what can we conclude? So the machines, okay, the machine is still efficient, okay, because the error that it makes is still less than 25%, right? So that's the conclusion that we can make for this part B question. Okay, again, I leave you 2 minutes for you to understand what we have done, okay, what I have shared on the screen. So at least you can understand the steps and also the procedure. Okay, people, one thing that I think you should discipline yourself to make yourself punctual, okay, to attend the class. Because you know what, when you join late, okay, to the class, you will miss some of the lectures. And then you start asking your friends and you kacau, you disturb your friends by asking questions, how to do this, how to do that, the one that you have missed. I think it's quite unfair to your friends, okay? So try be punctual so you can follow everything that we have discussed in the lecture, right? Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so this is the exercise that I have assigned for you all, okay, to be submitted next week, right? Right. So now we go to page 52, right? So sometimes what happen, okay, rather than we have X, we need to convert to Z and then draw the curve and then look at the table and find the probability. Sometimes we have the other way around. Okay, the problem given to us is the other way around. We are given the probability and then we need to look at the normal table and then we need to draw the curve, sorry, we need to draw the location once we get the probability in order to know whether it's positive or negative, and then look at the normal table and then decide what is the critical value of Z, and then we need to find X, okay? So we are going to move from right to left rather than left to right, okay? So let's look one example, okay? So example 6, okay? Find a point Z. So we need just to find the critical value, okay? Such that the area under the standard normal curve is between 0 and 0.4251, right? So, and then we need to find what is actually the value of Z, right? So this time, what happened? So we are given the probability first, right? So now we have 0 here, it says, and then the area between Z, 0 and Z. So this area, okay, or the probability is equal to Px is equal to 0. 0.4251, right? So this is different than what we have done before, right? So we need now, what happened if you go to your table, normal table, okay? Okay, for example, okay? So what you need to do now, before this, you get the value of Z, and then you find the probability, okay? But this one, the other way around. You get the probability, and then you need to find the value of Z, all right? So how to do that? So before that, remember, okay, when we look at the curve just now, okay, so remember that the table only gives us this part right here at the tail side. So in order to get this area, so we need to find, we need to deduct 0.5 minus 0.4251 in order to get this area, right? So can somebody get me the answer? Okay, we need to have 0.5 minus 0.4251. So this is actually this area right here, okay? This area. So can somebody get me the answer? 0.0749, okay? So this area is actually 0.0749. So what you need to do now, go to your normal table, right? Okay, your normal table. So try to get the number as close as 0. Just now, whatever we get, okay, from here, and then try to get the value of Z. Okay, 1.44, I don't get 1.44, okay, 1.44, this one, okay, who else? Any other answer? Ada jawapan lain? 1.44, right, everybody agree with that. Okay, so okay, so the Z value here is actually 1.44, right? So the value here. So our Z is actually 1.44. That's the answer. And that's all we need to do for this question. Okay, 2 minutes before we continue with the next example, example number 7. Sorry, Haini, my throat is not so okay. That's the reason. Macam susah pula nak cakap. Okay, a study shown the test scores of a college student in statistics normally distributed with a mean of 70 again, and then the standard deviation of 8. Okay, if 10% of the students got A in this test, what is the minimum score that a student must have on this test in order to get an A, right? So any question, we need to write the distribution first, okay? So our story is test statistic test score. So and now we have x is distributed with mu and sigma square, where x, right, x is distributed with the mean just now 70, and then the standard deviation is 8 squared. Right? Okay, so then there's another information that we got from the question where you can see that 10%, right? Before this, we only, the question only give us, two information, the mean and also standard deviation. But this time we have another information in terms of percentage, right? So that percentage is actually to represent our PX, right? So we need to convert that percentage to probability. So in this case, the probability is actually 0.1. Remember, probability cannot in percentage, but it is the value must be between 0 and 1. Okay. Right. So now we need to follow the step, okay, for this one, right? So we need to follow once we find the PX. Now we need to draw the location. We need to look at the table and then decide whether our Z will be positive or negative, and then we can find the value of X, right? So if you look at this one, right? This is the normal table, a normal curve, sorry. So, and then it says that 10%, right, or the probability 0.1, we need to decide whether it's on the positive or negative side. Remember why this normal curve is called normal? Because it represents the daily or the normality of our human beings, okay? So the score, okay, usually come from the poorest until the best, right? So that's what happened. Right. So where do you think this 10% will be? Is it on the left or on the right? Okay. Why is it, Puyi, on the right? Can you tell me, Puyi?
Yes, doctor.
Why you said is should be on the right?
Because I think a percentage of the riches is hmm?
Okay, what do you think?
Because I think the percentage of the poorest is more than the richest.
Okay. How about other people? Can somebody else say something? Why is supposed to be on the right, not on the left? Okay, remember we are talking about the test score. Yes, Atika, can you say something, Tika?
Doctor,
Yes.
I feel that the 10% should be at the right side because it's referring to the top 10% of the students.
Yes, okay, correct, Tika. Thank you. Okay, because as Atika said, okay, so all not good students will be start from the left, okay? Those people from F until A. A should be here, right? So the top 10% should be here, right? Should be here because the 90% of the students in the class uh, wouldn't score A, right? So A only for special people, right? So it will be it represent the people on the right side. Okay, so this is where is actually the probability of 0.1, right? So we know that it's going to be our Z, this is our Z, the critical value should be on the right side, and the answer will be, should be in positive, right? So now it's time for you to find from the table, the normal table, find the closest probability to 0.1 and then try to get the value of Z. Can you get it for me, please? So what is our Z here? Okay, any answer? Oh, so quiet. Mana you all? Kenapa diam sangat? Okay, 1.28. Okay, Roha start with 1.28. Any other answer? Roha, 1.28, what is actually the value? Can you tell me, Roha? 0.1003. Okay. All right. That one is close to 0.1. Yeah, definitely. Any other answer? Anyone else? Okay. So since everybody is quiet, so I think you already agree. You agree with Roha. So the Z value is 1.28, right? So this is the critical value here. Z is equal 1.28. Now we want to find this Z. Remember, we need to find the value for X. So we need to convert what is actually the original value of this Z in terms of the X form, right? So now we need to use the formula. Okay, remember the formula 1x minus mu divided by sigma. Okay, the formula we use to convert x to z. Now we need to use the same formula in order to find the value of x. Okay, so 1.28 equal to x. We are looking for x and then 70, and then divide by the standard deviation is 8, right? And then, so it means that x, oops, x, kenapa ni? X is equal to, right, 1.28 times 8, okay, plus 70, right? So this one, bring it to here, and then this one, bring to the other side. So we will get our value of x. Okay, can somebody tell me 80 point, thank you Idora, 80.24, right? So this is the answer. Then what we can say, in order for them to get an A, they must get at least 80, okay, 80 marks in the statistic test, okay? So that's the answer, 80 marks to get an A, right? Here again, I stop for 2 minutes for you to understand what we have discussed. Okay, I would like you to do exercise number 9, 9 and 10 on your own, but I'm going to show you how to do exercise number 8, right? But 9 and 10, I would like you to try on your own. Okay, so let's move on to exercise number 9, okay? Oh, sorry, number 8. A refrigerator brand, instead of Sharp, okay, this one is a very peculiar name, okay, peculiar name brand, okay, has high demand in market. It is known that the mean of the life of a refrigerator manufactured by this company has a normal distribution with a mean of 10 years, or circle that number, all right, and a standard deviation of 1.5 years. The manufacturer agrees that any refrigerator that needs a major repair during the warranty period will be placed free. Okay, what is the warranty period? B, if the manufacturer does not want to replace more than 5% of the refrigerator. Okay, how do I know this question is actually we need to find, probability and then to find X rather than X2 probability, because we have three information rather than only two information like our normal question before. Okay, so now the first thing we need to write X is actually the life, what should I say? The life of the refrigerator. Okay. Okay. Set. Hey. Okay. Of the fridge. Okay. I'll put it fridge. Okay. And then our distribution and mu sigma square. Right. So x distributed and the mean is 10 years. Okay. And then the standard deviation 1.5 square. Right. So this is what we need to solve, okay? So now we have the probability here. If you can see, in terms of the percentage, we need to convert to the probability will be 0.05, okay? So we draw the normal curve. So now we can see, right? Now we need to decide where is actually this 5%. Is it on the left or on the right? What do you think? Ramla, where are you, Ramla? Are you here?
Yes, doctor.
Okay, what do you think, Ramla? Is it on the left or on the right? Ya, bila kita baca the question, what is the warranty period? And it will need the manufacturer will replace it free. Okay. So what do you think? Where do you think it will be?
Left
Left. Why?
because
Because belasah je.
don't really understand, doctor.
Okay, what do you think? Okay, can somebody else tell me? Help Ramla. Okay, where is Awab? Are you here, Awab? I think your name is Awab, right?
Yes, doctor, I'm here.
Okay, what do you think, Awab? What do you think is on the left or on the right?
Doctor, can you go back to example?
Can I go back to what?
To example, to read it well.
To what?
To read the example well, doctor. To because I want to
Why?
know the site.
I don't get it. I don't get it. What are you trying to say?
I mean, can you go back to example?
Example? Which example?
This example, example 8.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where's
can you go back?
this one? You
Yeah,
mean
yeah,
the question? Okay, the
yeah. Just
question. Okay, all right.
one.
I thought you already have a book. No?
Yeah, doctor, I already have.
So why do you need to you need to go to page 53 and get the question.
Sorry, doctor, I just follow your page in laptop. I think doctor is uh, right side.
Okay.
Uh,
What did you say right side?
Cause I think
Okay, anybody else maybe can help? Come on, I would like to hear.
Doctor.
Yes, siapa? Okay, Nabila, please. Nabila. All right. What do you think, Nabila?
Okay, I think it's on the left side
Kenapa, Bila?
because the manufacturer does not want.
Okay. Ya, sebab maksudnya they want the manufacturer only wants, as a small number as possible. They don't want to replace the whole thing that they have sold, right? They only want to replace just a small portion from what they have sold to the customers, right? So if you think it's on the left, on the right, so it's going to be a very big number, right? Because this number is actually increasing, the number of X, okay? The number of the lifetime. So they only want to replace, a very small number, okay? This is our Z, for example, at the certain limit of lifetime, right? So if let's say after Z, okay, after Z years, they won't replace it free anymore. So the customers have to bear the problems or the apa orang cakap ni lah okay, I pun tak boleh nak fikir. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so they have to bear the consequence, all right? So then actually this number 0.05 should be on the left side, okay? So we already decide that then later on our Z should have negative number, negative sign. So again, we need to find out what is actually the value of Z. We need to look at the table and find the probability which is close to 0.05 in order to find the value of Z. Can you get me? What is actually the value of Z has probability close to 0.05? Okay, 1.64, right? I know 1.64. What is the value of the probability? I know 0.0505. Okay. Any other number? Anyone else? Okay, Atika agree dengan Ano. Okay, who else? Oh, Liana pun agree. Mingi pun agree. So what happened to Z? Okay, if Z is equal to 1.65. So what happened? What is the value of the probability? Anyone? Okay, 0.495. Okay, people, let's have a look here. Right, this one is more than 0.5 by 5. The value at the end is 5, extra 5. But this one is less 5, okay, the value. So if I minus 5 here, I plus 5 here, I will get 0.05 exactly, right? So what it means that the difference between this 1.645, 1.64 and 1.65 is actually equal to 0.05. So some people, they will take the average of these two numbers. Then they will take Z is actually 6.45, right? So if you add these two numbers and you divide by 2 and you add the probability and divide by 2, you will get 0.05, okay? So during the test and also final exam, so I will accept these three values, right? It depends. If you use 6.64, I also accept. 1.65, I also accept. And the best is actually 1.645. Right. Then now we can get our value of x minus mean divided by sigma. So remember our z just now is negative 1.645, right? Minus the x. Okay, we don't know the x, and the mean is actually 10 divide 1.5, right? So then the x will be negative 1.645 times 1.5 plus 10. Right. So I would like Zian. Can you get me the answer, Zian, for me? Zian, are you here?
Yes, dokter.
Saya ingatkan sudah naik pesawat dah balik.
Not yet, dokter.
Okay, so what's the answer, Zian?
Still calculating it.
Okay. Okay, or anyone else can help Zian to find the answer? 7.5, okay? 7.5, all right? 7.5 years. So this one means actually 7 years, 6 months, okay? Half year is actually 6 months, all right? So it means that the warranty of the refrigerator brand Sharp, okay, will stop until those which the lifetime is actually 7 years, 6 months, okay. After 7 years, 6 months, the manufacturer will replace any problem of the refrigerator for free, okay. So that's the answer. All right, so for exercise number 9 and 10, you need to try on your own, right? So that's all untuk hari ini. So let me share you with the your attendance, okay, class attendance. Okay, let me begin with section 2 first. Section 2, you can scan your attendance now. Boleh ke?
Doctor, I can see the screen.
Tak boleh?
Blank.
Oh, ya ke? Ni, dah okey. Nampak?
Okay, now I can see.
Okay, for those who already scan your attendance, you can leave the session. And I will see you guys next week. Okay, please make sure you have your SPSS installed.
Thank you, doctor.
You're welcome. Okay, section tu ada lagi ke? If not, saya nak share untuk section 1. Okay. Okay, section 1, can you see?